A horse is a horse, of course, and no one can talk to a horse, of course. That is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mr. Ed. Go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed.
The payroll savings plan offers the worker an opportunity to accumulate savings bonds on a regular basis. Savings are done for him by his company each payday. How's it sound so far, Ed?
Pretty bad.
Think you could do any better?
If I couldn't, I'd give up talking.
What don't you like about the speech, Ed?
You don't sound sincere.
I don't?
How many bonds do you own, Wilbur?
You mean savings bonds?
We're not talking about watermelons.
Well, I don't own any at the present time, Ed. You see, when I went in business for myself, well, I went off my company's payroll savings plan.
And you cashed the bonds you had, huh?
Yeah. Well, Carol and I needed the cash for a down payment on this house. You would have done the same thing.
I doubt it. I'm eccentric. I prefer living in a stable.
Ed, I don't have to own savings bonds to be a bond salesman. Besides, I told you, I used to have a lot of savings bonds before I started my own business.
And I used to have a lot of hay before I started lunch.
What does a horse know about savings bonds?
I just know your speech doesn't sound sincere.
Well, what can I do about it?
Buy bonds.
Ed, will you stop nagging? Right now, I just don't have any real need for savings bonds.
Okay, but how about the future? You know, someday we'll both want to retire.
So what?
So, savings bonds are one of the surest, safest ways of saving. You know that?
I know.
They're backed by the government. You always get what you put in, plus interest. You can't lose.
Right, but...
No buts about it. And consider these points. Savings bonds are just like cash, meaning they can be redeemed quickly and easily at your bank.
Are you finished?
Not yet. Savings bonds are also loss-proof, meaning if stolen, lost, or destroyed, your bonds are replaced by the government.
Are you finished?
Finally, the payroll savings plan is the most painless way of saving ever invented. You never miss those few dollars out of each paycheck because the saving is done for you before you ever see it. Now I'm finished.
Nice speech, Ed. Nice speech.
Well, anyway, it's sincere.
How could it be when you don't have any bonds, wise guy?
You mean I don't sound sincere?
Of course not. You made that point to me, remember? And what's good for the boss is good for the hoss.
Hey. I wonder if they sell savings bonds to horses. Operator, get me Washington, D.C., Treasury Department. Yeah.
God was angry that Balaam was going, and as Balaam was riding along on his donkey, accompanied by his 2 servants, the angel of the Lord stood in the road to bar his way. 23 When the donkey saw the angel standing there holding a sword, it left the road and turned into the fields. Balaam beat the donkey and brought it back onto the road. 24 Then the angel stood where the road narrowed between 2 vineyards and had a stone wall on each side. 25 When the donkey saw the angel, it moved over against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against it. Again Balaam beat the donkey. 26 Once more the angel moved ahead. He stood in a narrow place where there was no room at all to pass on either side. 27 This time, when the donkey saw the angel, it lay down. Balaam lost his temper and began to beat the donkey with his stick. 28 Then the Lord gave the donkey the power of speech, and it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you? Why have you beaten me these 3 times?" 29 Balaam answered, "Because you have made a fool of me. If I had a sword, I would kill you." 30 The donkey replied, Am I not the same donkey on which you have ridden all your life? Have I ever treated you like this before? No, he answered. 31 Then the Lord let Balaam see the angel standing there with his sword, and Balaam threw himself face downward on the ground. 32 The angel demanded, Why have you beaten your donkey 3 times like this? I have come to bar your way, because you should not be making this journey. 33 But your donkey saw me and turned aside 3 times. If it hadn't, I would have killed you and spared the donkey. 34 Balaam replied, I have sinned. I did not know that you were standing in the road to oppose me, but now if you think it is wrong for me to go on, I will return home. 35 But the angel said, Go on with these men, but say only what I tell you to say. So Balaam went on with them. Balak welcomes Balaam. 36 When Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went to meet him at Ar, a city on the Arnon River at the border of Moab. 37 Balak said to him, Why didn't you come when I sent for you the first time? Did you think I wasn't able to reward you enough? 38 Balaam answered, I came, didn't I? But now, what power do I have? I can say only what God tells me to say. 39 So Balaam went with Balak to the town of Huzoth, 40 where Balak slaughtered cattle and sheep and gave some of the meat to Balaam and the leaders who were with him. Read Numbers 22, Good News Bible. Was Balaam in Bible or everything that hath breath praise the Lord? Praise ye the Lord.